What's up? We're live. Holy crap. So, I want to see if I can't get this on the main page real quick. That would be amazing. Okay, hold on one second. Okay. It says I can put this as a featured, but I have not done that before when it comes to live streams. And if you guys are in there saying something, I'm going to put a click to tweet down in the info there. Did I forget to do that? God. Failing really badly here. Oh boy. I have no idea how to do that. It says you might want to go to your channel and feature this live stream. That way it shows up on the main page there. But it's not giving me a place to do that. What is going on here? Okay. Don't want to do that. Info? Let's try that. Nope, that's not what we want. Okay, well, it's broke. Let's try that. It says there's 5 of you in here. That's good. Bear with me. I'm still getting used to this. YouTube setup is a little weird because you have to use their control panel. That's what's weird to me. I just want to make it so that you guys can see this up on the main page when you come on, but it's not letting me do that. Let's try this. Alright, so I just updated the info with a click to tweet where you guys can ask your questions. I do have a couple of topics that I want to talk about today. I live streamed last night. Yeah, last night, and it brought a couple of things to my attention that I want to discuss with people. It's going to be mostly regarding video cards in that aspect. But, well, I don't know how to get this on the main page, so I'm just going to have to deal with that, I guess. Deal with it. Whatever. There's 5 of you in here right now. See if I can't... okay, there's some comments here. Add on Skype. You want to talk? I haven't decided if I'm going to do the Skype thing. If I do it, I'm going to have to do Skype through my phone. That way nobody has my IP. But I don't know. Hey, Real Toad, glad you're here. Glad you made it. It says the health of my stream is good. Well, that's awesome. Okay, I want to get some more people in here before I make an announcement, because I'm going to talk about my giveaway. Possibly 2 things I'm going to be giving away here. Holy crap. Who would have thought? Let's get Twitter open. Alright, everybody, start retweeting the link if you're on Twitter. Put it on Facebook if you're on the book face. And if you're still on MySpace, God help you. God help you. Let's do this. Alright, let's go ahead and... Okay. We have now got what appears to be 5 of you in here. Yay! 5! Woohoo! Okay. My VPN is not currently set up at the moment because I have a very complicated network here at home, so I didn't get time to do that. Not that big of a deal, though. But I want to talk about a few things today. I want to talk about growing on YouTube. I want to talk about video cards. I want to talk about the headphones I reviewed, and anything you guys want to talk about. And I've got about an hour that I can spend on this. So, and YouTube is still being retarded when it comes to the comments. So do me a favor, if you guys are in here and you guys want to ask a question and you're on Twitter, use that link I put in the description, the click to tweet. Do that. And then at the same time, if you're on Facebook and you're not on Twitter, put a question up on Facebook, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. If you guys comment right here inside the chat window, it's probably unlikely that I'm going to see it because YouTube is stupid. YouTube is stupid when it comes to live streaming because it's still beta for YouTube. Just putting out the last of the medias. Alright, there we go. That ought to work. I always have the worst starts to my live streams, and I lose more viewers that way. Really kind of sucks, but oh well. This is so unfriendly, I'm telling you, with the way that this works. It's not like... Alright, I'm getting tweets coming in, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, first thing I want to talk about, video cards and such. And Oliver wants to talk about blue screens of death. Okay, fine, we'll talk about that. Video cards, every single day I get non-stop comments on my AMD versus Nvidia, oh my god. AMD versus Nvidia video and my AMD versus Intel video. Those are by far my videos that are constantly getting watched on a daily basis, with the exception of my iPhone videos. And it's gotten to the point to where, oh, by the way, if you guys aren't seeing the link in the description, you're going to have to refresh the stream. I just added it. So, I want to talk about AMD versus Nvidia. And everyone the common misconception that probably bugs me the most when it comes to video cards is people think that they're only there for gaming, and that's so not true. It's not even close to true. Video cards do so much more than gaming. In fact, video cards, believe it or not, people, video cards were developed not for gaming. They were developed for rendering. They were developed for video editing. They were developed for that sort of GPU. The GPU was designed to take load off of CPU when you were doing heavy animation rendering. Okay, so we're going all the way back into the 70s and the 80s here when the first video cards ever came out. And so they've been adapted over time to work with computer games. So people now think video cards are about nothing but computer gaming, and that's not true. And so when you talk about the debate of which video card is better, the very first thing I want to ask somebody is, what are you doing? Are you playing video games? Or are you doing like I'm doing here? Are you live rendering like I'm obviously doing right now? I've got that camera that is taking a image and it's compressing it down from a raw format into an MP4, which is then going through my GPU and being encoded, all right, to that MP4. And then it's going through the CPU and it's being encoded into a signal that can then be live streamed up to YouTube, which is re-encoding it again, which is why I think it's only at 360p or something like that, for you guys to see. So when you're gaming, most of the gaming takes place on the GPU. But if you're going to be doing any sort of rendering, video cards between AMD and Nvidia are not created equal. You see, Nvidia has what they call a CUDA core technology. And what that is depending on which video card you have, there are all sorts of micro, teeny tiny processors that make up the GPU. So you have the graphics processing unit, which I have a graphics card right here. And this is what's been hanging on the wall if some of you guys have been watching my videos. This right here is the quote-unquote CPU for the graphics card. So it's a graphics processing unit. And people think that this right here is what does all of the work. But what makes this up is the CUDA core. So it's not like a CPU where you have a traditional single core, dual core, quad core, 6 core, 8 core, whatever. This particular model I think had like less than 500 cores in it. Yeah, 500 CUDA cores. My 680 has over 1,500 CUDA cores. And the architecture between Nvidia and AMD is not the same. They don't get utilized in the same way. So what Nvidia does is they have created a process in which these CUDA cores get optimized by various software companies. And so you've got the Adobe suite, which is Photoshop and Premiere and After Effects, where you can take all of the rendering and do it right here. AMD has something similar. It's not nearly as optimized, and it's not up to the manufacturer of the card on whether or not that technology gets utilized. It's up to the software developer of whether or not they want to code for the particular card. And because Nvidia has been around for so much longer than ATI, which was bought out by AMD, that Sony Vegas and a lot of these other companies are currently encoding and building their software for the CUDA technology. Okay, and so what that means is that if you're going to be doing gaming for YouTube, you're obviously going to be rendering video. So it's important that you go with an Nvidia card, okay, to get the most out of your rendering times. When I went from my 580 to my 680, I dropped about 25% on my rendering time just by installing a graphics card. So it goes to show there's so much more involved when it comes to video cards than just whether or not you play games on it. Okay, it's such a bigger world. And I just wanted to go ahead and get that out there because last night in the live stream it turned into a discussion because I get constantly asked about what I think they should buy, and that is such a difficult question for anyone to be able to determine. Just I can't tell you what the best card is for you. I can tell you what I feel the best card is for your budget based on what you do. But what I really hate is when people all over the place swear that they are experts on, me included. I'm not an expert on every aspect of computers, but I'm an expert on what I do. And so you can't just simply tell someone, oh yeah, the 660 Ti, oh that's way better than the 7850. It is if you're rendering. But if you're only playing gaming, the 7850 is going to get you the same kind of performance at a lower price point. So I just wanted to get that out there. It's been on my mind since the live stream. I get comments, like I said, every single day on YouTube about, the stupid... anyway, enough about that. How many people are in here? 13 people. Okay. I want to talk about my next giveaway. Okay? I talked about it a little bit before CES when I went on to my vlog channel, and if you guys aren't aware of my vlog channel, it's not linked anywhere in here, whatever. I've got a giveaway. And on the topic of what to buy for your computer, I get a lot of people that I really forget sometimes that... one second. I gotta get into the... Trying to get to the questions you guys are asking, but it's not bringing me to it. Nope. I guess you're right. The click to tweet didn't work. Give me a second here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, world's loudest keyboard right there, by the way, if you guys didn't know. I'm fixing it. There. If you guys refresh the stream, you will now see a click to tweet button in the description. And if you click that, just type in your question and it'll go to Twitter. It'll go to both my personal Twitter as well as the hashtag that I just set up. And you guys can ask your questions. Next giveaway here. There's 15 of you. I'll go ahead and talk about it. I'm giving away an AMD A8 3870K APU. And what an APU is, it's an accelerated processor unit. So it's a hybrid where there's a CPU and a GPU in here, and AMD honestly is better than Intel when it comes to the integrated graphics. The Intel 4000 and the Intel 3000 chipsets are just not as good as the AMD. And no, this is not a top-of-the-line AMD APU. There is the A10 out there, obviously, and someone last night said, why aren't you giving away the A10? Why are you giving away an A8? And it's like, look, buddy, this is free. This is free. You don't complain about free. And hopefully this goes to somebody who needs it. You guys are going to have to watch my videos because I'm going to be sticking this in there. I'm going to make a separate video about the giveaway. I'm going to give people time to go ahead and enter to win this. But what made me think about this A8 is I forget sometimes I'm really fortunate and really lucky to where I'm at a spot in my life right now where I'm able to get the nicer things. And I wasn't always in that spot. So when people say, what video card do you have? And I say, oh, well, I've got the 680. And they say, well, what do you think about the 660? And I go, man, I could never use a 660. I'm so used to the rendering times I have. I'm so used to the... my God, I'm just so used to having the nicer stuff. But it wasn't always that way. The stuff on the wall right here behind my monitor, I know you guys have seen it in some of the videos. The top one there is an AMD Athlon X2. It's a dual core with a very basic Intel motherboard, or a Gigabyte motherboard, sorry. And then the one below that is still to date one of my favorite PCs I ever built. And the reason for that is the fact that it's a Gigabyte DS3 motherboard with an E6300 Core 2 Duo. That was the very first dual-core Intel processor. It was a 1.86 gigahertz. But what was so significant about it was the fact that I overclocked that 1.86 gigahertz processor to 3.42 gigs. 3.42 gigs. It was over 80% overclock. I ran it on water, yes, but at every single day, whether I was surfing the internet or I was playing video games, I ran that processor extremely overclocked like that. And that thing still works. I think the motherboard died, but it is still a fully functional processor, and it just has a lot of sentimental value. And my brother-in-law had bought the PC from me, and then he did an upgrade, so I got the motherboard and the processor back, and it's just sitting there on the wall. It's even got memory in it. I could take the complete board that's hanging on the wall and stick it in a computer, and it would work just fine. Okay, so I'm going to try and read some of your comments here. Alright, I am Linksy says, follow me Twitter. Oh, I already fixed it. Okay, what Steam games do I have? I don't have that many Steam games right now in the library. I'll open it up and I'll take a look. I've been on Steam for almost 10 years now. There's not that many people out there, I think, today that have the amount of time on Steam that I do. But I'm the kind of guy that likes to play one game and play it out until I'm sick of it and then go to another game. So, I mean, I can't help it. That's just the way I am. And so it means I don't have a huge library because I get really... I'm the opposite of ADD with a game. I play that game and I don't play anything else. Alright, so let's take a look at my library here. I have got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Counter-Strike, the original. Counter-Strike Source. Day of Defeat Source. Deathmatch Classic. Driver San Francisco. Fear 3. Fear 2. Half-Life. Half-Life 2. All of the Half-Life. Iron Brigade. Left 4 Dead. Magica. I don't even know. Metro 2033, which I've only played a little bit of so far. The movies and the movie stunts and effects. What I love about that is I got that game way back when it was new. I don't even think you can buy it anymore. Someone told me you can, but I'm not sure. Ricochet, Team Fortress 2, Team Fortress Classic, and right now that's it. In fact, my Metro 2033 time played says 9 minutes. So you see how That's what happens. I go to start a new game and I just can't do it. I can't move on before I finished. I can't move on before I finished a game. Have I ever played RuneScape? Nope, because I played Warcraft, and so I couldn't go backwards on the graphics. Even though RuneScape was free to play for the most part, can't go backwards. Oh, and Borderlands 2. Sorry, Borderlands 2. Duh. I've got a lot of games that I've played that aren't on Steam as well, though. And in fact, I want to look at my profile real quick and see what my actual my badges. Where's my badges? Yep, 9 years of service. So I'm going to be getting the 10-year badge here coming up in a couple of months. That'll be neat. You don't see that many people that have that anymore. All right. I know you guys are asking questions. The comments are no longer updating. I just want to point that out, whether I put my mouse over it or not. Let's check Facebook. See if you guys have asked any questions on Facebook. Nope. All right. Let's go to Twitter. All right. What are some games you would recommend for a single player? What do you like to play? Do you like to play RPGs? Do you like to play shooters, driving games, puzzle games? You know what I have a lot of fun with when I'm really bored? I have a lot of fun with Driver San Francisco, and the reason for that, it's a huge sandbox. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, where there's a story mode, and you can go through the story mode if you want, but you don't have to. So, you can teleport from car to car and do whatever you want. And it's just fun to get in there and get in police chases and stuff. I have a lot of fun with Driver San Francisco. That is my, I want to vegetate and not really pay too much attention to what I'm doing game. Gonna get back to the live stream. Where are you guys at? There you are. I see you now. Trevor says he can hear the Cherry MX Blues. Yes, I hate the noise, but I love the feel, so it is what it is. I can't do anything about that. Going backwards here. Have I ever played RuneScape? I answered that. What are my opinions on the HD PVR 2? I don't use PVR. I don't capture anything that's not on my PC right now. I've really been considering getting an Elgato because there's some things I'd like to do with Xbox. And as well as capture, other things, but I don't have any opinion on it because I've never used it. For PC build for AMD, get an AMD 8350 or an i7 2600. The 8350 at stock speeds is within 10% performance of the 3770K, which is the Ivy Bridge version of the 2700K. So, price-wise, the 2600 and the 8350 are not that far off from each other. It depends. Do you... I don't know. That's really a hard one. Maybe probably the Intel. I think you might get more life out of the Intel. What would I say my Photoshop skills are out of 100? Like a 40? Maybe a 35? I'm still learning. It is what it is. I have more fun doing video editing than Photoshopping, so... I don't know. If somebody wants to Photoshop my head on, like, a cow, that'd be awesome. Do that. Send it to me and I'll put it up on my channel. Okay, what do I think of the new Devil May Cry? I just saw the trailer the other day, and I want to say that game looks hot. That game looks really hot. I think it's going to be a cool game. I was never into the Devil May Cry series too much. But I'm a graphics whore. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm a graphics whore. So if the gameplay could be there, but if the graphics aren't great, then I'm not really into it. And the games that are coming out now are really screwing with my head because the graphics engines have been refined so much, and the capabilities of even lower end hardware now and what they're being able to come out with is making everything just look gorgeous on the computer. So it's just so hard now for me to make up my mind. Do I like cake? I love cake. I love cake a lot. Make me a cake so I can eat it. That's my favorite horror game if I play horror games. I like the Fear series. I played Fear since it first launched, and it's not really I wouldn't say it's a horror series, not like Slender or Insomnia or anything like that. I think it's just more of like a jump scare kind of game. But it takes that horror genre and it kind of like smashes it into FPS and then says, there, have at it. And I've got Fear 3 still sitting on the desktop, and I haven't finished it yet, and probably only 50% of the way through the game, which is really bugging me that I haven't finished it out yet. I should get Rage. Yeah, I heard about Rage. Okay, let's go ahead and refresh this again. Oh, look, an ad. So yeah, I'm only going to be live streaming for about another half hour. Maybe a little longer if we're having fun. And if anything, I could just take it over to the Twitch channel when this is done, play like last night. I was having probably one of the most stressful times on Happy Wheels. Oh my god. This is one level that I just couldn't pass, and it was getting hard. You know how to make cake? Well, then why'd you ask if I like cake? Huh? Making cake is easy. You go to the store and you buy it. That's what you do. You buy a ready-made cake, and then you eat it before you get all the way home, and then you cry in your car before you go inside because you're ashamed of yourself and stuff. So anyway, okay. So one of the other things I want to give away, I want to give away my winter white billets. And some people might be going, ew, they're not brand new. Yeah, well, guess what? This comes with 6 sets. 6 sets of hollow points on it. And I'm going to be including a brand new set of mediums, which are the ones that I used. I'll be taking those off, putting in a brand new set of mediums, and they're going to be like a brand new headphone for you. So I'm going to be giving away another pair of these because of the fact that they were replaced with the SVs, which I did the uploaded the video review on yesterday. Hope you guys got a chance to see that video. Headphones and earphones are one of those things that's really hard to really convey to the person watching just how good they sound, simply because of the fact that they can't hear it. They sound great. They sound really, really good. You'll buy a chocolate one for me? Thank you, Cheesy Puff Productions. When and if you go back to playing Metro, turn the audio to Russian and just leave the captions on in English. Why? Does it sound better in Russian or something? I've got 14 of my best friends hanging out with me. Alright. Make a cooking channel. No, well, if I did a cooking channel, it would want to be something ridiculous like Epic Mealtime, and I'm sorry, Epic Mealtime owns YouTube, so there was no reason why I would make a cooking channel. Makes me a little sad. I wish I had more people in here. And these, oh, by the way, here are the SVs right here. I really, 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 really like these. Like I said in the review, the bass isn't quite as deep. I take that back. I already said that in the channel, in the video. They go plenty deep. They just don't hit, like, it's not as much, you know, force behind the bass, but the sound is there. And the problem I have with a lot of earphones that where the bass doesn't hit as hard is then it's kind of drowned out by really, really strong mids and tinny highs, which really sucks because then everything sounds horrible. But the range and the response of the entire frequency range of these is perfect. And the best feature of this by far is the anti-tangling properties. I spent probably 15 minutes worth of video trying to tangle these up, and you can't do it. It's got something to do with the flat cable. I don't know if you guys can see that really well. I mean, it's a flat cable. It's about the size of like a linguine noodle, I guess. But what that does is it makes it so that no matter what you do, I mean, they like practically fall out every time. I mean, as you can see right there, they just I actually tied a freaking knot in there. It made me a liar. If you roll them up and you stick them in your pocket, you can just take them out. You can grab them by the end. Where's the end? I mean, they just fall right out every single time. I was sitting there just having a great ass time with. See, they just fall right out. Isn't that? It's like a magic trick. It's like, hey, guess what? If I do this and they don't tangle up, you give me $5. You go to a bar and like, oh yeah, you're on, bro. Put $5 on the table and you go, bam. But see, they fall right out. That's the best part about it, because I hate tangled cords. If you guys are like me, you get really, really annoyed with tangled cords. Drumming Viking says, the best gaming experience I ever had. The book is based off of originally in Russian, and the game was originally Russian as well. The squirrel can't leave, or can't stay. See ya, squirrel. What got you motivated to lose all that weight? Death. Do I watch prawn? And I said prawn instead of porn, by the way. No comment. What got me motivated to lose all that weight? I'm going to comment on that again. Do I really need to answer that? Because it's kind of self-explanatory. When you weigh 500 pounds, the quality of life just sucks. And if you're overweight, if you're in this channel and you're overweight, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Even if you're not morbidly obese like I was, if you're even just a little bit overweight, you know you're self-conscious sometimes. And if you're really overweight, you're self-conscious all of the time. And so, when you're 500 pounds, that overweight guy becomes the skinny guy, and even he starts to judge you. And if you want to know more about my weight loss and some of the stories that I had from being that fat, definitely go and rewatch those weight loss videos. Obviously, you've seen them or you wouldn't have commented on it. Hey Jay, growing fast. You calling me fat? What did I just say? What did I just say? No, I'm kidding, bro. I'm not growing that fast. I mean, it's like this. In fact, I kind of want to talk about YouTube growth, since I know some people in this channel right now watching are trying to get into YouTube. And for the record, I mean, 2,700 and something subs is not a lot of subscribers. I mean, shit, anybody can get 2,700 subs on YouTube. It's not hard. And it's definitely a roller coaster. I mean, I can spend so much time and effort on a video, and it could be my favorite video ever, and I put it on YouTube and it gets like no views, or it gets a lot of dislikes or something, and it's like, well, I don't get it. And there's videos that I've literally just pulled out my camera, shot in 10 minutes and chopped it up and put it online, and it gets 100 likes and no dislikes. It's like, what the hell is... It makes no sense to me. I don't know. I swear to God, it's like YouTube viewers are the most critical people in the world, because it's... If they can see that you put effort into a video, then they'll start to pick that shit apart. Oh, you should have done this. Oh, you should have done that. Or I didn't like that. But if they can tell you literally just flipped on the camera and started talking, then they're like this. They'll just sit there and listen to everything you have to say, which is so weird to me. Okay, do you have anything about the next generation of the Intel i3, i5, 797 processors? If you're talking about Haswell, when I was at CES, I asked them about Haswell, and they wouldn't talk about it. They only wanted to talk about Ivy Bridge or Atom, which is what their mobile processors are based on. So, fat people for the win. Yes, fat people win eating competitions. Actually, that's not true, I don't think. Wasn't like the world eating champion for the longest time like this 100-pound Korean guy? You know what else Municio sent me? They sent me this little hook right here. This is kind of neat. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for. I mean, I guess I could put it on my keys, but this is kind of neat. It's really heavy duty. And it says it's not load bearing, so you can't climb mountains with that. Kobayashi, yes, was a 160-pound male. Yeah, that's it. He was a tiny little guy. I thought he was Korean, but yep. And he ate, the hot dogs, the hard-boiled eggs, and that dude. It's so funny because he's really fit, and he's got like a really like tight core. And so when he would eat these eating competitions, especially the hot dog eating competitions, he would have like this six-pack, but it was like a round gut because it was so shoved out. It was like he was fat and fit. It's really weird, I guess. Whatever. It is what it is. Aren't we just boring? Guys, ask some questions. Hey, why don't you ask a question? It's not easy to get on here and just talk, because I don't like to sit there and talk. I really need to charge my Galaxy. This thing's been dead for like a week. So, what do you guys think? You guys think I should give away these billets? Because a lot of people really like the billet review, but I ain't gonna lie. I mean, these headphones, including the billets retail for $70. You can find them for cheaper if you shop around, but I can't give out the price on these because they're not released yet. There's only a handful of people who actually own these right now, so it kind of makes me kind of fortunate, but it also means that I can't talk about the information that I have on it. But I can tell you right now, these are worth the price. If you really care about your music, and you're like me, where you like music and sound enough to where when it sounds like crap, you just don't want to listen, then you pay for stuff like this. But it's worth it to me. It may not be worth it to you. It may not fit in your budget, and it may not be very high up on your needs or wants. So there was... I don't know if you're in here or not, but someone in the review was saying that they have better things to spend their money on. And it's like, well, yeah, absolutely. And there's just as many people out there who have money to spend on stuff like this. So it's not the headphones' fault that they're expensive. Actually, I guess it would be. Whatever. You just saw a magical pony. I was wondering where I left my pony. I still run an i3 and you feel like a caveman. Why? i3 can still game just as good as an i5 for the most part. A little bit longer loading time, but once you're in the game, you're going to get the same kind of frame rates. It's not going to make any difference there. That's one of the gripes I have too about my AMD versus Intel video is shit. Everyone's got an opinion, but everyone's point of view of that opinion is so much different. I think that's the most important thing. And anyone in this live stream right now who's watching, who likes to give opinions on technology or gaming components or PCs, just remember, the point of view at which you're looking into the parts situation is not the same as everybody else's. Just like me, it's hard for me to give advice because everything I've ever built has always been the best at the time. So it's easy for me to say, oh, just get a 680, but not everyone has $500 to just drop on a video card. So PP Kakapupu wants to know Batman versus Spider-Man. I'm going to go with Batman, because Batman has all the technology, and, well, I'm a technology whore. Linksy thinks he's going to get 50 more submissions into the giveaway than everyone else. Really, bro? Let's go ahead and disqualify you. Have I seen Raise the World's video about the 8350 versus the 3570 versus the 3820 versus the 3770? No, because I don't go to YouTube for product review of CPUs and processors and GPUs and stuff. I go to Tom's Hardware. I go to Hardforum. I go to overclockers.net. Those are the guys that I trust. Motherboards.org is on YouTube, but they also are a publication. So I deal with those guys and trust their opinions. So no, I have not seen Raise the World's video about it. The problem I have with the videos is the fact that it's just one guy's opinion, Same thing with me. My videos, like the AMD and the Nvidia and stuff, that's my opinion on the situation. But you have to admit, if you've watched those videos, that I don't give you the answer. I don't say which is better because I explain to you how you can figure out which is better. Why did the chicken cross the road? I don't want to answer that. Prodify. You were in the live. Weren't you in the? Weren't you in my Twitch stream last night? There, Mister. Okay, Xiponu X99 said Batman's 1,000 times better than Superman. Yeah, that's true. I guess, maybe, except for Batman can't hurt Superman. But the question was Batman versus Spider-Man. Iron Man versus Batman. I'm gonna go with Iron Man because Iron Man has better toys than Batman. What do I want more? A PS4, an Xbox, or a 720? I already have an Xbox. I don't care about the PS4, and I don't necessarily want to replace my Xbox with the 720 because I really prefer to do my gaming on the computer. So, well, okay, I see the way it's written now. Xbox 720 or PS4. I'm not happy with Sony because of they're trying to stop the sales of used games. So I'm going to just go ahead and say fuck Sony. So I have a question. I want to build a PC with a single 1080p monitor. Should I get a $250 GPU and switch every 3 years? Or a $500 and switch when it stops working well? You know, here's the way I've always said you should build. If you have to pull away from one part to get a better part, something's gonna suffer in that. So I say get the best processor you can find that leaves you enough money to get at least a gaming class processor. And by the way, I'm just going to say it, I don't consider the 650 Ti to be a gaming processor. I consider that to be the 660 Ti's that failed QA. So if you have to get one processor or one GPU, get that one GPU, that $250 GPU, but then when you have more money later, add another one. Just go ahead and go SLI as long as your processor or your power supply can handle it, and your motherboard, obviously. My request is complete. Moo moo. All right, let's take a look at this. You probably want to get a higher resolution picture on there, but yes, that is my head on a cow, and I'm tagged. It looks like I'm tagged number 100707. Thank you. Batman has a kryptonite ring. Since when, pee pee coo caca poo poo? Stupid. You're stupid. Okay. So, if you're just joining the channel, I'm going to be giving away this processor. It's an A8 38. It's an A8 3870K. It's a fairly mid-end APU, and this is an upgrade to quite a few people who've asked about CPU stuff. So, hopefully, somebody can use it. It's a black edition. A black edition. So it has a huge penis. No, you can overclock it. Look at all these interactions. Okay, let's close that. Close that. That's my head on a cow. I'm going to leave that on with there. I'm Jay. Durr. I wish you guys could see that right now. They actually put my head on a cow. A black edition is racist. I love it. For anyone who isn't sure about the A8, it's actually really good. Yeah, it's a lot better than like the A6, that's for sure. And if you're just doing, you know, small gaming, you can. I mean, they've even got Dirt 3 listed on here. I would say Dirt 3 actually would play all right on here because it's an AMD sponsored game, and so it's optimized. I wish I had an FM socket board so that I could put this in there and just kind of do a real comparison of it. But I think this processor will do somebody a real justice. Yes, I should like have it permanently sitting like right there. Wasn't that hard? What about putting my head on the cow? Oh, I know, I can tell. I mean, I do have some Photoshop skills. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that I didn't do it and now it's sitting on my screen is awesome. McDonald's or Burger King? Ugh. Do I have to answer that? I would probably say Burger King because they have chicken fries. Ow. Just pinched the shit out of my finger. You know, when somebody named Pee Pee Kaka Poo Poo is asking them some of the most questions, you know you're doing something right. Oh, and I kind of welcome the haters, by the way. Just saying. The haters on my channel. Every single YouTuber I've talked to, big and large, has all said, or big and large, big and small has all said, when you start getting haters, you're doing something right. Hey, Cheesy Puff. That's just the way the live streams go, man. YouTube is the predominantly 13 to 17 year bracket, and that's just what you open yourself up to. I don't really care. I'm fine with it. In my vlogs, I always make my voice go high on purpose. Is that because you have nothing to say, or yeah, Linksy, I read your comment, and it's not a conscious thing. So if it's annoying, it's really too bad, seriously. And here's the concept with the vlogs. I've never been able to keep a journal. I always write in a journal for a couple of days and then I stop. So then I went to like a blog type journal to where it was private and only I could read it, but then I never typed on it. So then I decided to go ahead and give this vlog thing a try, which is really weird because of the fact that it takes more time and more effort to vlog than it does to type. But the vlogs make me think more about it, I guess. And so what you see in the vlog is what you get. And they're for me, honestly. They're a journal for me to go back later and say, oh, look, this was my daughter a year ago, or this is, you know, what I did a year ago on this day. And they're honestly for me. So if something I do is annoying or whatever, I'm not going to change the way I do my vlogs, because that would then mean I'm changing the way I act, which I'm not going to do. So the YouTube still has a more mature population than Call of Duty. Absolutely. Bukimon says, do you go to college? Sorry if you already answered this in a video or previously in a stream. No, I don't go to college. I'm 31. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a secret. A little bit of a secret. There's 16 of you in here now. So, 17 of you in here now. So you 17 out of the 2,700 people, the 2,700 people who are subscribed to me, or the 270 or 260,000 views I've got so far, only you 17 are going to get a piece of this information unless somebody rewatches the stream. JayzTwoCents works in IT. You already know that. I do very complicated tasks, and I do very expensive. What's the word I want to look for? I do very expensive. Sorry. Okay, I do very expensive tasks, meaning I do a lot of things that have hundreds of thousands and sometimes millions of dollars riding on it at work. And I don't want to get into too much detail about what I do, you know, that involves that. But JayzTwoCents does not have a degree. And that is probably one of the things I would go back and change the most in my life, is I would go back to school, because I did go to college, and I would complete the degree, because it would have made where I am today easier to get to, which means today I would probably be farther along than I currently am. So without having that degree, I had to really fight and claw my way up there, honestly. And I had to seriously prove myself. And I had to prove myself through opportunity, and opportunity doesn't always come up. You can't just go and say, hey, I know computers, give me a job. And then they want it, well, it's certifications. What certs do you have? What's your degree? What computer science classes have you done? Where'd you go to school? It's like, well, I don't have any of that, so I can't. You can't prove to anybody without any of those certs or that degree that you have the knowledge. But I'm one of those people who, I'm one of those people who've. I think I was my daughter's age the first time I started messing around with computers, and I don't mean like sitting on someone's lap and clicking on the keyboard and screwing around. I mean, I was 3.5 years old when I was using a Commodore 64 and writing out the launch commands of load star and the whole command to load the program. So my entire life I was doing things with computers and well beyond basic user like they didn't have Windows when I was a kid. You had DOS. How many of you guys know what DOS is? I mean, you may have seen the MS-DOS prompt on your computer because Windows is still built off of a DOS platform, but DOS was the operating system for the longest time. And so I really, really had to prove myself to get to where I am today. And I honestly have learned that if you can get the opportunity to prove yourself, then I'm trying to see what somebody wrote. Somebody wrote something and took it back. If you can be given the opportunity to prove yourself, you don't have a degree, you might get lucky. I'm just really, really fortunate that I got to where I am without that degree. So I'm going to be getting out of here in a few minutes, guys. Go ahead and ask the last of your questions. Don't forget, I am going to be doing that giveaway there, and I got to respond to a text real quick. Sorry, I'm meeting with someone here, and he texted me and had to change the time, so just bear with me here. It gives you guys a chance here to go ahead and ask me a couple more questions. Okay, sorry about that. Don't leave! See, again, only the piss and poop guy wants me to stay. What is this? I thought you guys were my core following. I thought you guys were the ones that I got up and made these videos for. Out of the 2,720 followers, how many do I have, by the way? Let's take a look. I don't get those notifications anymore. I turned them off. They were coming in too often. Okay, 2,726 subscribers. There honestly is only maybe 300 of you people who religiously watch the videos, and that's just the way YouTube goes. That's the reason why you'll see Woody's Gamertag, who has 1 million subscribers, but 200,000 views. That's a 20% subscriber to view ratio. It's horrible. So I'm just kind of clawing my way up that ladder, and I want to do. I'm going to be doing something. I'm going to be doing something big for my 10,000 subscriber milestone, and I know that may sound like it's a little bit ahead of itself, but at the rate that I'm growing, honestly, it's going to happen this year, and I want to do something big. And let's just say that it'd probably be a fairly decent giveaway. Oh, and look at that, it's 271,000 views. Go me. Whatever. Okay, that's done. That's done. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, honestly, I'll stick around, because the reason why I had to get off this live stream was because I was going to have a little, not really a business meeting, but a good friend, a really awesome guy named Fausto. I met him at the 24-hour live stream for Yaush, and he's based down in San Diego, and he's up in LA right now. Doing some work, and so we want to get together and just we want to get some dinner and chat, and talk about some things that whatever, just shoot the shit, unofficial stuff, because he is the product manager and rep for Munitio, so that's really cool. I like to go and hang out with those guys. Let's see. Matt Thompson is here. Hello. I recognize you from the vlogs. Cheesy Poof doesn't want me to go. Ultimate Gaming PC giveaway sounds nice. Yes, I will put together a $5,000 gaming water-cooled tri-SLI system that I will make a video on for my 10,000 subscriber. How's that? This was way better than cable. Hey, you know, when I was at CES, Sam, I think I already said this in a video, or maybe a live stream. Samsung talked about the fact that YouTube is the future of entertainment because more people watch YouTube than TV. I can guarantee you I watch tens of hours more a week on YouTube than I do watching TV because I don't watch TV. I mean, I've got my flat screen right there in my office. I've got, you know, my big plasma in the living room. I've got another big screen in the bedroom, and I don't watch any of them. Why do I have all these TVs? Well, I have a problem. God. Make a $5,000 gaming computer and give it to Cheesy Poof Productions. I almost want to, just because of your name. Where do I buy my hardware from? Honestly, it really depends on the price. I'm really fortunate where I live, because where I live in Southern California, I'm local to Newegg. So you know how you guys buy something on Newegg, and granted they're pretty quick on shipping. I can just go pick it up. I live close to several Fry's Electronics. I live near a Micro Center. So I have a lot of options, you know. When it comes to water cooling, I buy all of my parts from either one of two companies. Frozen CPU, which is out of Rochester, New York, which is ironic because the company I work for, I travel back and forth to Rochester from time to time because that's where one of our remote office or satellite offices are. Or performancepcs.com. It's performance-pcs.com, and they're out of Florida. So both of those guys being all the way out on the East Coast really sucks because I'm impatient. And when I finally make a decision on something and I order it, I want it now. And it takes like 6 days for them to get here, UPS. God. So those are where I buy from. Newegg, Micro Center, Fry's, Frozen CPU, and performancepcs.com. Check the tweeter. Well, Linksy, you're the only one sending me Twitter, by the way. So I should finish half of my high school freshman classes during the summer and then just do them all during high school? I don't get it. So I should finish half of my high school freshman classes during the summer, or just do them all during high school? Well, it depends. Are you in middle school now? If you can get ahead, why not get ahead? I wasn't that guy. In high school, shit. I was like really good at math. I was really good at math, actually. I'm still good at math. I was really good at taking tests. I was the kind of guy that could BS my way through a class and then take the final and just ace it. That doesn't work in college, by the way. Just saying. PDX David says, I have to buy it quick before the wife changes her mind. What are you buying? I must have missed something. Let me go down. You sell missiles? I must have missed something. What are you buying? You were in Rochester last summer. Hey, what a boring town, right? I could give a nice $10 Wi-Fi card. Yes, that would be amazing for the 10,000th subscriber special. I want to do something big. I'm thinking maybe a high-end graphics card, like maybe a 680 or something like that. Why is it the description it says follow me on Twitter and then a link to your YouTube channel? Because I'm retarded. God, got a problem? Shit. Let me fix it. There. Fixed. Refresh the stream. Electronics. I have to buy it quick. Yes, go buy it. Oh, I see what you're saying. Anything. You have to buy it. Got it. Jason, how did you read my mind for the 10,000th sub special? What, to give away like a high-end graphics card? Because it was something I was going to do on Twitch when I reached, I think I had set like 1,000 followers on Twitch. I was going to give away a graphics card. But I really might do that. I'm really considering doing like maybe a GTX 680 or a AMD 7970. I haven't decided yet. All right. If y'all want me to stick around, you better start chatting it up. There's me, my head on a cow. I'm going to demonstrate just how loud this keyboard is. I'm going to do a typing test real quick. I love typing tests. Let's see how many words per minute I can type with this keyboard. Y'all ready? Let's see, it's about to get loud up in here. Oops. It's like lagging. Done. Okay, sorry. Do I have no life? If I have a 10-year-old Club Penguin account? I don't know what a Club Penguin is. Will you please answer the why did the chicken cross the road question? To hump your mom. I honestly don't know. I don't use it. I just checked it last week, though. Is the Cooler Master CM Storm Enforcer a good case to overclock in? The CM Storm is a good case. There's a lot of NZXT out there you could do. Cooler Master, Thermal Take. Gaming cases now, anything at like the $90, $100 range and up, all have really good cooling functions to them. Okay, I'm going to do one more test. Damn it. Fail. Okay. Doing a typing test. With the loudest keyboard in the world. Oop, to Jeep himself. Damn it. Damn it. I said porn instead of bench. It's weird. Nah, we're only in the 80s. Oh well. I think the best I've done is 106, but it's been a while since I've really practiced. Is it normal for people to get messages from YouTube asking for you to provide commercial rights to your video, even when the video doesn't contain an intro, no sound, tracks, or pictures? I've gotten a few of those, and I've said no to them, by the way. The reason why they ask is because just the fact that it's on your channel, if you have it claimed, then they can get a copyright strike from taking it from you. A copyright strike doesn't only have to do with, you know, music or TV series or something official. You make a video. This stream right now, for instance, it's my likeness. It's me up there, so they need permission to use it. The question is, was the video that they wanted to use, you know, something that was good enough to want to use? And if so, I would have asked them, why do they want to use it, right? Somebody wanted to take some of my reviews and repost it. The reason why I say no to that is when you give them rights to do it, they also get the ability to monetize it. And let's say, like my Municio video, that video only has a few, I think less than 200 views right now, even though I just put it up yesterday, is because that video hasn't been blasted out yet. That video is going to be getting sent to an awful lot of people by Municio, because that's the only video that they gave permission for anyone to use to do the review of the SVs. So that's why I say I'm the first and official unboxing and review of the Municio SVs. They came to me and wanted me to do that video for them. So, you know, when companies like CNET and Engadget and some of the Yahoo News all came to them and wanted information about the Municio SVs, they're going to link them to my channel. And so if they want to do any sort of, you know, publication on the Municio stuff, they've got to come to my channel to do it. So hopefully it's gonna bring a lot of opportunity and exposure to the channel. We'll see. If it turns into something great, if not, oh well. I wanted to do the review anyway. I was doing the review anyway. They just let me be the only one that they trusted for that official unboxing and review, which is really cool. You know, that a guy who's only been around as long as I have can actually go and, you know, 2,700 subs. Why trust me, right? But obviously there's something they like. Ponu said he recently bought a new laptop, and in a week I had a hard drive failure, and I don't want to restore it. Any solution? What failed on the hard drive? Can you describe your failure? That's a really generic term. I really wish you guys would be a little more chatty, because I'm running out of things to say here. Refresh. I would like to see the comments, please. There we go. Penguins versus walruses. I like penguins because they are always so dressed up. One word per minute. All right. Did you get to the gay guy's house? Knock, knock. Okay. Alright, guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and probably end this now. Things are getting a little bit weird here. Okay. Couple more questions. Alright, hey Jay, what's your subscriber goal for the end of 2013? 10K, 50K, 100K? I can guarantee you 50K and 100K aren't going to work. If I look at the growth projections that says, since the beginning of my channel, where if things just stayed linear from this day forward, that says from the day I started till today, it takes the average number of subscribers per day and then averages that out over time and will tell me for the next 3 years how far I could possibly be if nothing increased. So let's say I got 25 subscribers a day average every single day, and that never changed, never any less, never any more. Where would I be? I'm not setting any goals on YouTube, by the way, guys. I've said it before. YouTube for me was like an experiment. I just wanted to see what would happen if I went up there, and guess what? Turned out it was working, so I just went ahead and stuck with it. Okay, if I stayed where I am right now, I would hit 10,000 by July. And by the end of 2013, I would be at 17,500 if nothing grew. But here's the thing. I'm growing at, like, it's a constantly, it's not linear, it's not straight. It's swooping up. So as it gets steeper, those dates keep getting closer. For instance, when I checked in the beginning of December, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, remember it took me 3 months. It took me 3 months to hit 1,000 subs. But when I kept going forward, it started compounding where I'm getting more and more subscribers on average. For instance, it took me 3 months to hit 1,000, but in the last 30 days alone, I've gained 1,200. So as you can see, it really sped up. YouTube is weird though. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean I can continue growing at that rate. It just means that's what it's been, and at any point, the YouTube community could get, they can turn on you quick, and all of a sudden just hate what you do. To be honest with you guys, I've already gained over 3,000 subs, but I've also lost over 360 subs. So if the subscribe button has already been hit over 3,000 times, let's see how many times it's been hit. And in fact, this is kind of a fun conversation if you guys want to talk about YouTube growth and what's been working for me, I guess. Some people say that my channel is doing extremely well for its age. I don't have any expectations. I don't have anything to gauge it against, so I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, so if I go to the subscriber, yeah, in the last 30 days, I've actually gained 1,425 subscribers, but I've lost 183 in the same 30-day period. For the lifetime of my channel, I have gained 3,026 subscribers. However, I've lost 372. So I've lost over 10%. I don't know if that number's good or not. I honestly don't. Am I the Jesus of technology? No, I'm not. I don't have a beard. Jay, opinion on the Steambox console that is supposed to be released. It's a tiny computer that's going to have the big picture as its standard operating system. I can't tell you whether or not it's going to be worth it or not because I don't know. I mean, it all depends on price, right? Jay's ATI 6670 X3 450 4 gigabytes of RAM, Black Ops 2, Battlefield 3, etc. What are you asking me? Are you making comment? I don't know. I'm sorry. I must have missed something. Are you asking if it can play those games? Prodify video games of Video 2 Max and BF3 720p medium settings. Okay, Prodify says that's a nice opinion. Thank you. Bukamon wants to know what kind of car I drive. I drive a Nissan Altima, and I have a Dodge Durango. What amount of RAM would be future-proof? Absolutely none. Because here's the thing with RAM. It's always changing on speed, timings, socket type. Like for instance, DDR3 is going to switch to probably DDR5 any freaking moment here. I'm waiting for it. I have a feeling that the new type of RAM is going to be released with probably the Haswell. It's totally a gut feeling. There's nothing that's made me think that that's a legitimate I don't know what word I want to use here. I just honestly have a feeling that the DDR5 RAM is going to be probably coinciding with the new board that's going to be coming out for the Haswell series and Intel's. But the speed of the RAM is more important than the quantity of the RAM. So you can get... In fact, I made that comment on my channel before where someone said, well, I'm just going to get 32 gigs of RAM now so I can be future-proof later. And my comment to them, which got a lot of thumbs up, which is funny, is I said, well, you'll have 32 gigs of RAM of slow, unusable memory by that time. So, I don't know. I mean, RAM is cheap, fortunately, so I use 16 gigs. I could probably benefit from 32 if I were, you know, because of the rendering I do, but whatever. I'm fine. How well can it run? The 6670 is pretty low end, my friend. I'm sorry. Probably not good at all. Black Ops 2 probably be all right. Battlefield 3, it's gonna crack that card in half practically. Is 8 gigabytes enough for gaming right now? Yes, absolutely. What about the cache latency of the RAM? Is that important? Not unless you're overclocking. You wouldn't see a difference at all, honestly. Get 24 gigabytes of RAM with a clock speed at... Okay, Prodify, here's a problem with you suggesting 24 gigabytes of RAM. That means they have to run 3 8 gigabyte sticks. So unless you're suggesting that they go from dual channel to single channel and have 2 sticks in one channel and 1 stick in the second channel, that means they'd have to have a triple channel motherboard, which is very expensive. So you got to stick to the factors of 8, my friend. Remember, everything with computers is a factor of 8. Factor of 8. 8, 16. 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. It's always a factor of 8. Oh, it was a joke. Okay, well, I just educated somebody then. Am I interested in Thunderbolt and its possibilities? Absolutely, but it's not mainstream yet. It's just starting to hit motherboards for PCs. I mean, granted, Apple, had it well over a year ago with its MacBook Pros. But the Thunderbolt is really cool because it can be a single solution for different types of connectors. You can have it for video, you can use it for peripherals, all sorts of stuff. I think it's cool. Isn't it a factor of 2 also? If you want to get technical on the math, yes, but we're always dealing with factors of 8 and quantities of 8. See ya, Cheesy Poof. How important is the PC case? It's as important as cooling is. So if you live in Alaska, you can get away with a little bit more closed off case. If you live in a hot climate like I do, like in this room right now, it's pretty warm. Um, Airflow is important. I also water cool for that very reason. When will a new series of GPUs will come out? It's always anticipation. The 600 series Nvidia was released March 22nd of 2012. I personally don't anticipate there being the 700 series or the GK110 and GK114 cards from Nvidia being released until June-ish, moving into third quarter. I think AMD is going to release their 8000 series any month now because they like to get out first. Because AMD's learned that the only way they can really grab a whole bunch of that money immediately is to beat Nvidia to the next series. But then Nvidia usually comes out and then releases later, but has a better product, and then it turns into a driver war. Android versus Apple. Do me a favor. Click on the JayzTwoCents text right there next to my icon with my picture and go and watch my Android versus Apple video. How's that? Are there ways of speeding up your PC other than physically cleaning the dust out? Disk cleanup, defragmentation, and removing viruses. Okay, first of all, dust has nothing to do with the speed of your computer unless you have enough dust to where your fans can't keep it cool. Disk defragmentation doesn't really have anything to do with the performance of your computer other than the rewrite speed of your hard drive. So again, that's not going to create too much in terms of performance if you're talking about gaming anyway. Removing viruses, definitely preferred. Yeah, don't have programs you don't need running. I'm constantly going into my msconfig, going into my startup file, and making sure that nothing starts up on this computer that I don't need. And I'm running on an SSD as well, so in fact, it's bugging me right now that there's a couple of things that start up that I don't want to, like my G930 headset software. Hey, pee pee caca poo poo, open a new tab and do it. What do I think about Alienware versus building your own? I think Alienware will steal your money. Alienware will always steal your money. I've owned three Alienwares, by the way. I owned an Aurora desktop. I owned a, God, was it a 7200 or something like that? I owned one of their top-of-the-line gaming laptops that actually had desktop CPU in it. And I also owned one of their smaller Alienware laptops, a 15-inch, and the big one was a 17. They were all garbage. I'm just going to say it. Absolutely garbage. You can always build a better PC for less than Alienware. Plus, they're owned by Dell, and their quality really went down when Dell bought them. Okay, video games expert. Is it true you shouldn't keep the PC near the ground? Dust just piles up, or are they just trying? It's true. It's absolutely true. The closer your PC is to the ground, the more dusty it will get. That's why dust filters are very important. All of the intake fans on my case over there have filters on them. Not to mention, that's just where all the dust collects, is the ground. And what happens is when the air is circulating, it picks that up. So the only thing you're going to get when your PC is above the ground is any of the air that the dust happens to float by it. Advanced system care. I personally don't use any of that crap. I don't use any of those system enhancers. I gotta love getting a call from someone that PC is slow only to find they have 15 things running in the taskbar. That would be my father. An Alienware with a GT610 for $1,200. Yep. That's what I'm saying, man. It's the name, because they have their own custom cases with LEDs and blinking lights, and they look cool. Don't get me wrong, they look very cool. They're not worth the money. I could build for $1,200. My God, I could build a PC I could build two of those Alienwares with the GT610. Is building a laptop ever going to be possible for normal people? No, especially since laptops are going to end up being a dying breed. If your PC's on the floor, you don't have to move it. Just blow it out often. That's one of the reasons why I have a white case. I go into my case all the time, and with the filters and it being white, there's hardly any dust in there. And I've got 9 fans. Opinion on BioShock Infinite? I've not played it, but obviously I guess nobody's played it. I've never played any BioShock game. The only thing I know about BioShock Infinite is it'd be nice if they'd actually release the goddamn thing. Alright, Tristan Lore Song. That was one of the first things I answered in my stream. I know you probably weren't here. Go with the 680 if you make YouTube videos, or you do live streaming, or you do any sort of video rendering. Go with the 7970 and save a little money if all you do is play games. How's that? Do you play Minecraft? If you do, you're my idol. Subscriber for life. I don't play Minecraft. Sorry. I would like to. I played the trial. It was fun. I dug a hole. But earlier I mentioned I don't have enough time to play the games I currently have, so I'm not taking on any more. Especially ones like that can be very time consuming. Sorry. If you unsub or don't sub now. Just tuned in. What are we talking about? Hey, iPad 2 jailbroken 231. We were talking about lots of things. We were talking about the fact that JayzTwoCents is going to be doing a giveaway where I give away an A8 3870K. We were talking about my official unboxing and review of the unreleased Munitio SV earphones. We were talking about the fact that my GS3, my Galaxy S3, hasn't even been charged. I'm also going to be giving away a set of Munitio billets. And here is the box for the SVs right there. And we were talking about graphics cards, CPUs, and all sorts of cool stuff. In fact, somebody asked if I have any experience at all with graphics engines, and if you're talking about like the Nvidia Quattro and all that stuff, nope. I would love a Quattro. I would love to build a rendering station with a Quattro that I could use for rendering my videos. But as it is right now, a 15-minute video for me only takes about 15 minutes to render, so I'm not worried about it getting too much faster than that. If you grow enough to make a living off of YouTube, will you quit your job, or will you take IT, like IT enough to continue? That's a good question. No, I will not quit my job for YouTube, which means that I'll probably never get big enough on YouTube to be in the position where I could quit my job, because I won't have enough time to put into YouTube to get to that point. Does that make any sense? But I would have my wife quit her job. How's that? For a video editing computer under 550, what parts would I recommend? There's not much you can do with 550. It's really not, because if you have to buy everything, including an operating system, you can't buy it all for 550. Oh, okay, Frostbite or CryEngine? Well, CryEngine is... If you played the first Crysis, then you know that the CryEngine was poorly optimized, and it just blew in terms of frame rates, but the quality of it for a DirectX 10 game was amazing. The graphics today still hold up in terms. Crysis 2, my 580 had no problem blasting that game at max settings. My 680 doesn't even ramp up above 60% usage on the GPU. If Crysis 3 is able to optimize it even more, then I'd probably go with CryEngine over Frostbite. Where do I buy my PC parts from? Bays, I already answered that. Depends on who's got the cheapest price between Newegg, Fry's Electronics, Micro Center, Frozen CPUs, or PerformancePCs.com. Is it really worth getting a GTX 680 when the 670's performance is almost the same? The 680's performance is almost the same until you overclock, and most of the time the 670's do not scale as well as the 680 on an overclock. However, I know plenty of people who have a 670 and love it. A GTX 680 is not necessary. 670 Ti or 670? Come on, poo-poo. You stop it. Stop it. I know you're walking the edge of troll and you're trying, but hey, try harder. But yeah, regarding that question about quitting my job for YouTube, never. I don't trust somebody else tallying my views and stuff enough to where I won't get screwed, because I've talked to some large YouTubers who make a living on YouTube, and they've all felt at some point that Google was stealing from them. What I'm trying to say is, do you have any experience with graphics engines like previously said? What do you mean by experience? I own games that run off both Frostbite and CryEngine, so I guess yeah. You want to talk? Do I want to talk about my weight loss? Absolutely. And here's the thing when it comes to the weight loss. I don't know exactly where to put it yet. I'm stuck in the middle, and here's why. I started it out on the main channel, and Boogie tweeted it out, which helped get some exposure to it because he liked the topic, so he wanted to help me with getting some views to it to get people aware of it. And then I said I'm going to put it over on the vlog channel. And then I decided that for the vlog channel, I wanted to talk more. I wanted to turn it into a 365 project where I do a vlog a day. And I told people to go to the vlog channel and subscribe if they want to subscribe about the weight loss stuff. And a lot of those people didn't. A lot of those people subscribed. When I looked at the analytics, my weight loss video that has over 7,000 views, about 300 people hit subscribe on that video. Like, actually hit the subscribe button in the video. Only 100 of those people went over to the vlog channel. Not to mention, I want to help as many people as I can when it comes to the weight loss. So I want to get the video out to as many people who is going to see it. And that's the tech channel. But at the same time, I don't want to bore the hell out of my tech followers talking about weight loss. But I was talking to a friend about it, actually, about whether or not it's something I should put on my tech channel. And one person said something that I think made a lot of sense. He looked at me and he said, let's be honest here. Most people who are into technology are usually a little overweight themselves. So I was like, yeah, you're right. And I've been thinking that I really need to get another video up talking about the weight loss stuff, and I really want to, and I want to get more stuff inside the gym. And I've even been talking to my trainer about him coming on and talking some bit about a healthy lifestyle and things people can do to get started, because that's the most common thing is people don't know where to start, and when you don't know where to start, you fail. And when you fail, you get discouraged and you fall back even worse than when you were before. So yeah, I am going to be doing more weight loss stuff. I don't want to lose the subscribers that came to me for that. I'm just trying to figure out how to fit it in. And things were so busy with Christmas and New Year's, and then I was in CES last week. So I'm just now getting back into the groove of things. I hope that answered your question. Can I explain volts and overclocking CPUs? I don't understand anything about that part. Volts. Well, volts is electricity, and electricity is what drives all of the parts in your computer. Every single CPU sends a signal to the... There's a chip inside the CPU that says to the power supply, hey, I need this much volts. So then the voltage regulator, which is also a computer program inside the power supply, says, okay, you need 1.25 volts. Here you go. Here's 1.25 volts. Well, you can go into BIOS and you can tweak that. And just like just like in a car, if you hold the gas steady at, let's say, half throttle, right? The computer and the engine and the fuel injectors are going to send only enough fuel that you need to stay at that speed, right? So you push your foot down on the gas and the computer goes, oh shit, you're trying to go faster, so it sends more fuel. It's the same thing with the voltage in the CPU. If you're going to overclock it and you want to get more performance out of it, it needs more electricity, because electricity is the fuel for your processor. But there is a working range of voltage. And what that means is, like, for instance, for me to get a stable overclock at 5 gigs on my AMD here, I've got to run it at 1.5175 volts. 1.575. That is a little bit... And yeah, Linksy, if you're still in here, yes, my voice went up. Fuck you. Seriously. It's a little bit higher than what's considered the max threshold. So what that means is AMD has a working voltage range of 1.2 to 1.5. So to make it stable, I had to jump over that, and it was making me very uncomfortable. The temperatures were getting high. And as you add voltage to your processor, you add temperature to it, so you have to have better cooling. So that's voltage there for you. Anything you overclock requires more voltage than stock almost always. Jay, have I heard about the Unreal Engine 4? If not, I recommend looking it up later. Absolutely, I will look it up. I have not looked into Unreal Engine 4. When's the next Tech Addiction? Mr. the Nameless. Tomorrow, Sunday. This week, everything's back on track, guys. Tech Addiction in its normal format will be back tomorrow. So all the haters can come in and have fun hating on it. It's fine. Have I heard of System 76 laptops pre-built with Ubuntu? I've heard about laptops that ship with Ubuntu, but I've not seen or used them. I was really impressed with Ubuntu though. I have a coworker, well, used to have a coworker, that played around with Ubuntu a little bit, and he liked it. I've never touched Ubuntu. I've never messed with Linux. And so I don't know anything about it. But I was talking to the Ubuntu guys over at their booth at CES, and those guys have got some good things coming. I really wish good things for Ubuntu. Their phone, their smart TV, like you said, their operating system. It's all very good. So I hope they turn a little more mainstream. We need more than just the two giants out there, Apple and Microsoft. Something's been flagged as spam. Let's see. Have I seen the new Corvette C7 Stingray? Yes, I have seen the new Stingray. And I think it honestly looks to me like a squished version of the Camaro. I'm a fan of cars. I've been a fan of cars for a long time. And I'm not happy with the fact that they went away from the round taillights, which is a signature of the Corvette. My daughter's knocking on the door. Jay, try scrolling down every now and then so you can answer some more questions. Hey, I am scrolling down all the time, but you gotta understand, the comments don't refresh for me the same way they refresh for you. I like how people are just going around spamming things as, or going around marking things as spam now. Alright. What do I think about the Razer's Edge? Okay, and the Nvidia Shield. I talked about them a little bit in my videos. Check those out. But the Edge, very, very, very overpriced. Oh my God. $1,200 or $1,299, I think, for a laptop, a tablet, a fucking tablet, an i5 or an i7 in it. And I think that price was for the i5, and the i7 was even more. With the technology moving from full-on desktop processors making their way into tablets, I think the pricing right now is a little bit high, but I think it'll come down. And when it comes down, then that sort of stuff is worth it. As of right now, I don't think it's worth it. The Nvidia Shield, yeah, it's an Android tablet with a controller built into it. I don't know what they're going to charge for it, but it's Android. And then you can stream your games to it if you use NVIDIA Grid. And he said, the battery life on it's horrible. But once again, guys, I've said this before. Stuff you see at CES is emerging technology. The new debuted stuff, it's emerging technology. It's new. It's expensive. It's not refined. And it's going to take time for it to improve. And that battery life, 2 to 3 hours, geez, that's horrible. My wife's texting me now. Alright, sorry about that. I got a lot of things coming from different areas. Hey, Gamer News Daily followed me. Cool. Welcome, bro. Alright. Are you going to buy the Steam box? Or the PS4 or the 7 bucks? Okay. I'm repeating a lot of stuff here. Not interested in PS4 or Xbox 720. I don't play consoles a lot, and I'm enjoying the games I currently have on Xbox. So the Xbox 360. So I'm happy with it. Not to mention the price points on those is probably going to be $400 or higher. I'm not interested in paying that much. When am I going to start a gaming channel? I don't have enough subs yet. I mean, I started a vlog channel and it's got like 219 or something like that, which is surprising to me, to be honest. But you know, they were pulled from the tech channel, so I had to pull from. And I'd really like to start a gaming channel. I really would. But the Let's Plays that I've already done on my tech channel, and I hate actually calling it the tech channel, to be honest. It was a channel I started where people were always asking me about, you know, what's better, this or that, you know, in real life. So I just decided I'd make the channel. But it's too soon to start a third channel. Holy crap. But the Let's Plays that I did not get very many views at all. So I'm not going to go through the time and effort to start a third channel, get it partnered, get it all branded up and stuff, and then to upload to it only to have it not really go anywhere. Gotta go, Jay. 1:50 in the morning. All right, man. Thanks for sticking by, or thanks for coming by and sticking around. Jay, would I ever do a PC sesh with fans? Yeah, I'm working on it. Working on how to put together a group for Origin for the guys that want to play BF3 with me. I also have a friend that's going to be managing the Steam group so that we can play Steam games. So yeah, just look for that. I will be doing subscriber gaming sessions. Okay, he wants some input on this. Listen up, everybody. Me and my friends are talking about how 2013 is going to be a crucial year for gaming, and I would like to hear your opinion on it. Before I give you my opinion, can you talk about which aspect of gaming is going to be crucial? Are we talking about hardware here, or are we talking about the actual games themselves? So I'll answer when you tell me what you meant. Will I make a video of me building a PC? Absolutely I will, because I have a friend that's already come to me and has asked me to build a computer for him. We have an $850 budget, including operating system, which is going to leave me $750 for hardware. And I've got the challenge of putting together the best computer I can, ultimately for $300 or $750. And guys, I'm not worried about Thrally. Seriously, haters, I can't be hated on. You can hate all you want. And who's your favorite porn star? It may be a real question to you, but this is not that. So, you know, stuff like that, it doesn't bother me. Will I make a video of me building a PC? Yeah, I'm gonna turn it into like a challenge video. I'm gonna try and make it. I'm gonna try and present it nicely. So hopefully, but it's one of those things where I'm gonna put so much effort into a video to get such little return. It's gonna make me think, why the hell do I put so much time and effort into it? I could set up a freaking webcam, time lapse me putting it together, and get more views than me actually producing a video. But why am I gonna produce the video? Because that's what I do. I've been making videos since I was a kid, like that. You know, the internet is out video. I came home from work and I felt like making a video, and that's what I did. And that's the kind of stuff I like to make. Nintendo is probably going to be under if they don't sell well. I'm surprised they're not under now. Sony and Microsoft need to start innovating as PC is growing market. You know, it's interesting to hear you say that PC is a growing market when PC was the market. There was gaming PCs around, people gaming on PCs long before the first Nintendo came out in 1984. PC was the gaming platform, and then it fell off because it got too expensive. Through the late 90s and early 2000s, and now it's really making a comeback again because the advancements in technology have really allowed it to become more widely affordable again. So I think you're right in that consoles really better step it up somehow. But remember, consoles rely again on PC hardware. I mean, people hate to admit it, but your console is a tiny little PC that runs on its own operating system. So yeah, I think 2013 is going to be a big year for gaming, because of the advancements in the video engines, as well as the advancements of technology and the hardware and the price coming down. I think there's going to be a lot more players in that arena. So when I think about the H100, it's an excellent cooler if you've got the $149 to throw into it. I think they're depending on where you live, you might find better air coolers that are cheaper, like the Noctua and such. It's just really ugly. What would I do for a Klondike bar? I'll get back to you. I could do something really silly and stupid, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it, brah. Bruh. What do I think about the Linux puppy? I honestly don't know anything about it. Never heard of it before. And if that means I missed something, then that sucks, because I've never heard of it. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here at 6 o'clock my time. That's 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. So do yourself a favor. Type in a question. I don't care what it is. I will answer any question that you guys have. So let's hear it. And see, when I talk about losing subs, I've lost 2 since this stream started. So YouTube it's an interesting place to figure out, man. I expected, though, for me to have lost a lot of subs this week, because I have a feeling that a lot of people subscribed to my channel during CES for my coverage and then unsubbed when CES was over, which is perfectly okay because I still got paid for those views. Just saying. And that doesn't tell me who unsubs, by the way. But I have a gripe with Google and YouTube. I really wish that they would require anybody who unsubscribes to click a reason why. Like, just give them like 5 options, Let us know as content creators why you unsub. That would really help. Okay, why have you stuck to AMD instead of switching to Intel? Okay, I'll tell the story again. I've told it before, but I don't mind saying it again. I bought AMD when I was building on a budget. The end of 2011, August 2011, I had $1,200 to spend on building a gaming PC. And so I wanted to get the most parts I could, the best parts I could for the money that I had. Minus the operating system, I knew I wanted to get a high-end GPU. So I had the 580, which right off the bat was $479. With tax, it was over $500 taken away from my $1,100 budget. Leaves me $600 for everything else: motherboard, processor, RAM, drive, case, any of the cooler I wanted to put in it. So I was really, really taking away from the GPU. And so what I did was I went with the GTX 580, and I had a 965 Black Edition from AMD. And that thing overclocked very well. I was running it at 4.2 to 4.3 gigahertz on a regular basis, and I was very, very happy with it until I started doing some special effects rendering in After Effects. And that then really started to show the age of the processor. So I knew I wanted to get a new processor, but I didn't want to buy a new motherboard and processor at the same time. So what I did was I bought the GTX 680. And even then, the 965 wasn't bottlenecking the 680, but damned if it wasn't close. So then I went to Fry's, and my wife said, just buy whatever it is you're going to buy that's going to make you happy. So then I went ahead and I decided, okay, fine, I'm going to get a 3770K. So I went to Fry's Electronics, I got the 3770K, and then I got the Asus Z77 Sabertooth motherboard, and they're sitting there in the cart, and I start walking around and doing my thing, and I have a hard time buying stuff for myself, believe it or not, with all the stuff that I have. I do have a hard time replacing something I already own. And so I'm looking at the price, and I'm going, okay, 3770K is going to run me about, I think at the time it was like $220. And it's another $200 for the Sabertooth. So we're at the $420. It's $420 really worth the 20 to 25% faster rendering times. Because gaming, it made no difference whatsoever. So $420 to have 25% faster rendering time. So let me put that into a retrospect that makes more sense. If it takes me 10 minutes to render a video, it's then going to take me a little over 7 minutes to render the video. So is that 3 minutes back worth $420 every time I put up a video? No, it wasn't. And the reason why is when I'm done editing a video, I click render and I go to bed. I will set a timer on my computer to turn itself off. I let it render. I go to bed. I get up in the morning. I check it. I make sure there's no glitches in the render. I send it up to YouTube and off I go. So I don't need those 3 minutes back because I'm not doing anything. I'm not sitting here waiting. The gaming performance is going to be the same. With my SSD, my computer boots in 12 seconds. So why spend the extra money to go to Intel when right now my AMD, which is an 8120, it's not even the top of the line previous generation, is doing just fine. Hope that answers your question on why I stayed with AMD. Who is holding my camera or phone in my car when I'm doing the vlog? When it's stationary, I have a windshield mount. When I'm only driving like a block or two, then I'll just like hold it, which is very against the law. iPad 2 jailbroken wants to know Intel versus AMD CPU. You hope the best for my channel. Wow, all of a sudden you guys start asking a lot of questions when I want to leave. Why do you guys do that? This is like the 4th or 5th live stream I've done since it was enabled on my channel. It's really frustrating when you guys just sit there and then when I want to leave you guys start asking questions. Okay, I'm going to go back as far as, okay, who unsubs from JayzTwoCents? People who are not as cool as me. Did you get my hands on any Roswell RK9200 mechanical keyboard? No, I saw the Roswell booth. I didn't go mess with it. I've never been a fan of Roswell too much. Sorry, gotta answer this real quick. Okay, I saw your vid on the 4K TV at CES. Will you... Okay, this is going to be the equivalent of like Boogie's lightning round, by the way. If you have a question, write it as fast as you can. I'm going to get through it as fast as I can, and then I'm just going to end it. So, here we go. I saw your video on the 4K TV at CES. Will you end up buying one when they are released? Absolutely not, because they are way, way too expensive. There are no players right now that can broadcast any 4K TV, and a lot of the companies like Dish Network, Time Warner, and DirecTV are still broadcasting in 1080i with only a few 1080p TVs broadcast channels, so it's going to look like ass. You add that many more pixels to a 1080i transmission, it's going to look like shit. Intel versus AMD CPU. And I hope the best for your channel. Thank you. I hope the rant I just went on about why I didn't go with Intel over AMD made more sense to you, but if you have the money right off the bat, probably go with Intel. One of the gripes I have with Intel, though, is they like to change the socket type every single time they come out with a new processor. At least with AMD, you get 2 generations. Okay. Who's holding your camera? I already answered that. Will I have to flash the BIOS of an AM3 Plus 970 motherboard to be able to install an FX CPU? Probably, because my Crosshair V Formula, which is a 990FX board, I had to flash the BIOS. Google Chrome or Internet Explorer? That should answer it. I use Google Chrome. I'm in Chrome right now. What is the best AMD processor? Depends on what you're doing. Right now, if you look at their chart, the FX8350 would be the best, but I really, really like the Phenom 2 series for gaming if you're not trying to go for high-end. What do I think about the Momentus XD SSD HDD hybrid? I think they're awesome. I was watching the demonstration of it, and they had all the way up to over a gig per second read-write speed as a hybrid. That's insane. I want one. 420. Yeah, I know, right? Who is my cable internet and phone provider? I don't own a phone, and my internet is provided by Time Warner's wideband service, which is a 50 megabit connection. Hope for Steamroller. I hope it's on an AM3 Plus board. Otherwise, if I have to buy a new motherboard to upgrade, I'm going to Intel. What changes would I like to see it in BF4 when it comes out? When you shoot a freaking RPG or a SMA, don't let the round explode or disappear if you die before it hits something. I can't tell you how many times, and it was happening in my live stream last night, when I would shoot a rocket at somebody, and before it could get to that guy and kill him, somebody killed me from over here, which meant the rocket disappeared. It disappears in midair. Yet you can throw a grenade and have it survive. Tell me what sense that makes. Alright, check in the Twitter. Nothing there. Checking the book face. Nothing there. Okay. Refreshing this one more time, and I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. Do I play Medal of Honor Warfighter? Yeah, it's called Battlefield 3. I always call it Call of Battle Honor, which is close quarters for Battlefield. I don't play Medal of Honor, no. Okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the live stream. I'm glad that there was like 15 to 20 of you here at all times. It's starting to get a little bit bigger, which is fun. I might do some live streaming again tonight on Twitch. That was fun. If you guys were in the channel last night, I was doing Happy Wheels after BF3, and that one of the people who were watching was like, "Oh my God, this shit's giving me a heart attack because of how stressful it was watching me try and finish some of these levels." So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I see that there were some questions asked. Sorry, if I don't stop it now, I'll never get out of here. I've already been going for 2 hours, and my voice is gone. So thanks for coming, guys. Hope it wasn't too boring. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not. Tell your friends to subscribe. Let's see if we can get me to 3,000 before the month is over. All right, guys? You guys have been absolutely awesome. Thanks for sticking around, and I'm done kissing your ass now. So if you want me to kiss your butt, sorry, I'm not kissing your butt anymore. I won't do it. You can't make me do it. Fine, whatever.